burnout is a word that gets used a lot. But what does it actually mean? Like, is there a definition, or did you all come up with a definition of burnout?
There is a definition that we used. So burnout is a combination of exhaustion or physical fatigue, feelings of cynicism towards your work or your occupation, whatever that may be, and a sustained feeling of not being able to actually do what you're doing with quality. So a loss of confidence, or a sense that I don't think I can do this over a prolonged period of time, which differs from how you felt before the burnout.
Welcome to Syncreate, a show where we explore the intersections between creativity, psychology, and spirituality.
The researchers on this topic, Maslow and Leiter, say that you need to have all three of those present for it to classify clinically as burnout. We differ from that a little bit in the book. We suggest that we've seen a number of people who maybe only had a couple of those three things, or maybe even just one in a very acute way, usually a combination of two, and who were absolutely self-identifying as being burned out. But that is the definition, and I think it's a useful one. So extreme fatigue over a period of time, cynicism towards your work and place of employment, and that feeling of diminished self-worth in terms of what you do.
Yeah. And one of the things I noticed when reading your book that was sort of a common theme, I don't think it's necessarily definitional, but we both work with leaders and executives. And one of the things that I noticed in so many of the stories of people experiencing burnout in your book had to do with toxic leadership.
Yep.
Right. So if, and there's so much research out there that if you have a boss, a supervisor that is an inspiring leader and an empowering leader, and you feel supported and you feel a sense of trust, then that, just goes a very, very, very long way toward creating a positive work environment and people feeling motivated and connected to their work. And then the opposite is also true. So I'm curious, because you work with leaders all the time. Tell me a little more about your perspective on sort of good leadership versus toxic leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, and there is that classic adage: people don't leave jobs, they leave bosses.
Yes.
So the bad boss archetype is something that is absolutely a huge influence on burnout. So the book actually, it serves as a way to heal yourself in a way, to understand what's behind burnout. What are some of the early signs that you might be able to recognize? What are some of the practices that keep us whole? And also, if you're in a leadership position, there is some information and some cases around that bad boss syndrome.